Buy now, pay later sounds harmless. Split your payment, avoid interest, get what you want instantly. But behind the convenience is a system quietly trapping millions in cycles of debt, impulse spending, and hidden financial stress. From missed payments damaging credit scores to apps designed to make overspending feel normal, the dark reality of BNPL is far more dangerous than most people realize. Before you click Pay in 4, here's what these companies don't want you to know. Today we will talk about the dark reality behind Buy Now, Pay Later. So before we start, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. 1. The psychological trap of instant gratification. One of the darkest realities behind BNPL systems is the psychological manipulation they rely on. Human beings naturally seek instant gratification. When people see a product they desire, the brain releases dopamine, creating excitement and emotional urgency. Traditional purchasing methods forced consumers to think carefully because they had to part with their money immediately. BNPL removes that barrier completely. Instead of asking, "Can I afford this?" consumers begin asking, "Can I afford the installment?" This small psychological shift dramatically changes spending behavior. A person who would never spend $1,200 on luxury sneakers or a gaming console may suddenly justify the purchase because the payment appears as only $50 every 2 weeks. Companies understand this psychology perfectly. Their business model depends on consumers underestimating the long-term impact of multiple small payments. Research has shown that people spend significantly more when payment pain is delayed. BNPL systems capitalize on emotional decision-making while weakening financial discipline. Consumers become addicted to buying because the consequences feel distant and less severe. Over time, this habit rewires financial thinking and encourages impulsive behavior that can destroy long-term financial stability. 2. How BNPL encourages hidden debt accumulation. The most dangerous aspect of BNPL is that many consumers do not even perceive it as debt. Unlike credit cards or bank loans, BNPL platforms market themselves as simple payment solutions rather than borrowing systems. This branding strategy is intentional because people are psychologically more cautious around traditional debt products. Since installments appear small and manageable, users often open multiple BNPL accounts simultaneously across different apps and retailers. A consumer may finance clothing through one service, electronics through another, furniture through a third, and beauty products through yet another platform. Individually, each payment may appear harmless, but collectively, they create an overwhelming financial burden. Because many BNPL transactions are not immediately reflected in traditional credit evaluations, users can accumulate obligations far beyond their actual income capacity. The danger intensifies when unexpected expenses arise, such as medical emergencies, job losses, rent increases, or inflation-related pressures. Suddenly, consumers find themselves juggling dozens of installment payments with insufficient income to cover them all. 3. Late fees and penalties, the silent profit machine. Although many BNPL companies advertise zero-interest financing, this does not mean the services are free. In reality, late fees and penalties generate enormous revenue streams for these corporations. The business model is designed around the assumption that a significant portion of users will eventually miss payments. Even small penalties accumulate rapidly when consumers manage multiple installment plans at once. A missed payment due to insufficient bank balance, forgotten deadlines, or unexpected bills can trigger fees that snowball into larger financial problems. Some platforms may repeatedly attempt automatic withdrawals from users' bank accounts, causing overdraft fees from banks in addition to BNPL penalties. For financially vulnerable consumers, this creates a devastating chain reaction. 4. Young generations are the primary targets. Millennials and Generation Z have become the primary targets of BNPL marketing campaigns. Younger consumers are particularly vulnerable because many are facing economic instability, student loan burdens, housing crises, and limited financial education. Social media platforms further intensify the problem by promoting lifestyles centered around appearance, trends, luxury products, and constant consumption. Influencers frequently showcase expensive items while casually mentioning installment payments as if they are harmless financial tools. This normalization creates dangerous cultural pressure. Young people begin believing that owning expensive products immediately is normal, even if they lack the financial resources to pay outright. BNPL companies intentionally integrate their services into online shopping platforms where impulse buying is strongest. During checkout, users are presented with installment options in large, attractive fonts, while the full price is visually minimized. 5. The impact on mental health and emotional well-being. Debt does not only affect bank accounts, it deeply impacts mental health as well. BNPL-related financial stress is increasingly linked to anxiety, depression, sleep disorders, and emotional exhaustion. Many consumers experience constant worry about upcoming payment deadlines, especially when managing multiple installment plans simultaneously. The convenience that initially felt empowering eventually transforms into emotional pressure. Individuals may begin avoiding bank notifications, ignoring emails, or feeling panic whenever payment reminders appear. Financial stress often damages relationships, family stability, and self-esteem. Consumers may feel ashamed about their inability to manage debt, leading them to hide financial struggles from loved ones. Social media worsens this emotional cycle because people continue comparing themselves to others displaying luxury lifestyles online. The desire to maintain appearances can push individuals into even more borrowing, deepening their financial problems further. 6. Data collection and consumer surveillance. Another disturbing reality behind BNPL services is the massive amount of personal data they collect. These companies do not simply offer payment solutions, they operate sophisticated data-driven systems designed to analyze consumer behavior in extraordinary detail. Every purchase, browsing habit, payment pattern, and spending preference becomes valuable information. Companies use this data to predict purchasing behavior, target emotional weaknesses, and encourage even more spending. Advanced algorithms determine when users are most likely to make impulsive purchases or accept additional financing offers. In many ways, consumers themselves become the product. Personal financial data can also be shared with third-party advertisers, marketers, or data brokers, creating serious privacy concerns. Many users are unaware of how extensively their financial behavior is being monitored and monetized. 7. Economic consequences for society. While BNPL may seem like an individual financial choice, its widespread adoption carries broader economic consequences for society. Economies driven by excessive consumer debt become increasingly unstable over time. When large populations rely heavily on installment-based purchasing, financial resilience weakens. Consumers save less money, accumulate fewer assets, and become more vulnerable during economic downturns. If inflation rises, unemployment increases, or financial crises emerge, millions of individuals carrying installment debt may suddenly default simultaneously. This can create ripple effects throughout the economy, affecting retailers, financial institutions, and overall consumer confidence. Furthermore, BNPL encourages a culture centered on consumption rather than financial responsibility. Instead of promoting saving, budgeting, and delayed gratification, society increasingly rewards immediate spending regardless of long-term consequences. If you liked this video and would like to see more like it, please give it the thumbs up. Leave a comment and click the button to subscribe.